Right folks, I'm now in the Hyundai Santa Fe, and once again this is just a quick overview of my initial thoughts on this car. Today I'm at a Hyundai driving event and I'm getting a short period of time with lots of their cars. Hopefully in time I'll be able to give you a full sort of honest, detailed review of this if I get the chance to have one for a little bit longer. The first thing to say about this car is it's absolutely gargantuan. You're not wanting for space in this thing at all. You've got 7 seats in this, although the back 2 seats are obviously better for children or for a very, very short journey. They're quite luxuriously appointed. If you pop those seats down, you've got an absolutely massive boot. I'm going to pop all the stats up on the screen because I've got no chance of memorising them all for so many different cars today. This one's the plug-in hybrid, and today this car's been doing several routes that have been given to us by Hyundai. It's mostly 30 mile an hour and 50 mile an hour roads. The average on it at the moment is 38.5 mpg. I think when you consider that this car's got reasonable performance, and certainly when you think about the size of it, 38.5 mpg is not too shabby at all. Rear legroom in the back's great. I mean, even the tallest of adults shouldn't have too much of a problem. It's got a very good infotainment system, and you'll find a very similar version of this on many Kia, Hyundai and Genesis vehicles. Really nice high-res screens, the infotainment screen and the dashboard here, which is all digital dials. Very, very nice, very good quality. Head-up displays crystal clear in this one. As with some of the other cars in the group, you pop the indicator on and your dials turn into blind spot cameras. Absolutely brilliant feature, and they're super high-res images. Same goes for the reversing camera and your head-down display, high-res images. So despite the fact that this thing's huge, it's actually really nice to drive. It doesn't feel like you're driving around a huge vehicle at all. I've just come out of the Tucson and it doesn't feel massively different despite the increase in weight and size. Quality of interior materials is better in this than in the Tucson. I wouldn't say it's class leading by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a lot better than I saw in the Tucson. The seats are lovely, by the way. This particular one's got some diamond stitching on the top half of the backs, but it's really, really comfortable seats. And yet another nice steering wheel from Hyundai. And considering the extra weight you get in this plug-in version with the batteries and what have you, it's a really nice ride as well. It's not too fidgety or bumpy. It's the kind of car you could go and do a 300-mile drive in and get out feeling fairly fresh. Right, everyone knows I love physical knobs and buttons rather than haptics and having to do everything via the infotainment screen. One thing I will say about this is this central console is way too busy for my taste. It's got physical buttons and dials, which I love, but there's so many of them. I guess once you get used to the car, it'll come as second nature where everything is. But I'm looking down at that and it's like I'm in the cockpit of a 747, so that would take a bit of getting used to. And possibly the design could have been a bit better. Quality of the buttons and dials are really nice, and things have a fairly nice sort of tactile feel to them. Lots of different drive modes here. We've got Eco, Snow, Sport, Smart, Mud, Sand, so that's good. When you put it into Sport, everything becomes that much more immediate. But in a car like this, really and truly, I don't think anyone buys it to drive it in a sporty fashion. I guess the main rivals for this car will be things like the Skoda Kodiaq, maybe the Toyota Highlander, then you've got the Seat Tarraco. And all I would say is, if you're considering a large 7-seat SUV, you should definitely be taking one of these things for a test drive. Also, there are sometimes some really good lease deals on Hyundais, which you'll see on my lease deals of the month videos. So it's worth keeping your eye on those. But if you're in the market for a big 7-seat SUV, this has got to be on your list. Certainly needs to be on your short list. There's still a little bit of badge snobbery that exists with the Korean brands, and they really don't deserve it. They're really producing some phenomenal cars these days. I'm not saying you must go out and buy one, but really give them a chance. Go and test drive some of these cars because they are that good. If you've enjoyed any part of this video, please let me know in the comments and give it a thumbs up. It really helps. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. There'll be lots more car review content coming in future, as well as used car content and my normal lease deals of the month. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys.